It was one of those golden evenings when the sunlight painted the trees like a dream. A shiny black Mustang stood on the side of a quiet country road, hood up, engine smoking. Behind the wheel sat a young woman who once had everything: a billionaire's daughter, famous in her small hometown for her beauty, money, and pride. But now, stranded and frustrated, she realized something money couldn't buy: help from a stranger. Only, the stranger who stopped to help wasn't really a stranger at all. He was someone from her past, a boy she had gone to school with. Someone she never noticed back then. What happened next would change how she saw life, kindness, and people forever. Before we begin this powerful story, make sure you hit that subscribe button and join our community here at Kindness in Action, where we share real and inspiring stories that remind us all that kindness can change the world. Don't forget to like this video and tell us in the comments what kindness means to you. Sophia Langford had everything anyone could dream of. Her father owned a chain of luxury hotels across the United States, her wardrobe was filled with designer labels, and her social media was a perfect stream of beaches, yachts, and expensive coffee shops. To most people, she looked like the picture of success and happiness, but that afternoon, as she drove alone through the winding back roads of her old hometown, her luxury life felt far away. The car began to sputter, then coughed, and finally came to a stop with a cloud of smoke billowing from under the hood. Great. Just great, she muttered, stepping out on her heels, waving away the smoke. Her phone had no signal. The nearest gas station was miles away. The silence of the forest pressed in around her. She leaned against the car and sighed, feeling helpless for the first time in years. Minutes passed. Then she heard the distant hum of a pickup truck approaching. The sound grew louder until a faded blue Chevy slowed to a stop beside her. The driver stepped out, a young man, tall, wearing an old mechanic's shirt with oil stains on it. Need a hand? He asked with a friendly smile. Sophia turned, ready to brush him off, until she looked closer. His face seemed familiar. Wait. Ethan? Ethan Miller? He nodded, a little surprised. Yeah. Sophia Langford, right? Haven't seen you since high school. Sophia's mind raced. Ethan had been one of those quiet kids in school, the one who always sat in the back, fixing things in shop class, never part of the popular crowd. She remembered barely saying 2 words to him. Yeah, she said, forcing a polite smile. It's been a while. He walked over to the car, glancing under the hood. Overheated engine, he said simply. Looks like your coolant's leaking. Sophia crossed her arms. Can you fix it? Maybe enough to get you back to town, he replied. Without hesitation, he grabbed a toolbox from his truck and got to work. She watched as he worked quietly, focused, his hands steady. He didn't seem the least bit intimidated by her or her car. There was something peaceful about the way he moved, confident, calm, kind. Sophia felt a strange sense of humility wash over her. Here she was, the billionaire's daughter, helpless on the side of the road, being rescued by someone she had once ignored. After about 15 minutes, Ethan wiped his hands on a rag. That should do for now, he said. You'll need a proper repair later, but you'll make it back to town safely. Sophia smiled, genuinely this time. Thank you. Really? I don't know what I would have done. Ethan shrugged lightly. No problem. I was just heading back from work. Couldn't leave someone stranded out here. As they talked, Sophia learned that Ethan had stayed in town after high school, running a small auto repair shop with his dad. Life hadn't been easy, but he was proud of what he built. Something about his simplicity struck her. He didn't brag. He didn't judge. He was just kind. Hey, she said after a pause, can I at least pay you for helping me? Ethan chuckled. Nah. You don't owe me anything. But you spent your time, he shook his head. Sophia, when someone's in trouble, you help. That's just what people do. Those words hit her deeper than she expected. That's just what people do. It had been a long time since she'd met someone who did something without wanting anything in return. They talked for a while longer, standing on that quiet road as the sun dipped low behind the trees. Ethan told her about his life, how he loved fixing cars because he liked bringing things back to life. Sophia listened, really listened, maybe for the first time in years. When they finally said goodbye, she drove off slowly, her heart heavier yet lighter at the same time. She couldn't stop thinking about him, about the simplicity of his kindness. That night, back in her luxury penthouse, Sophia couldn't sleep. She thought about her world of endless business meetings, social events, and followers who praised her for her looks and lifestyle, but not for her heart. She realized she'd forgotten what truly mattered. The next morning, she made a decision. She drove back to her hometown and stopped by Ethan's garage. He looked surprised when she walked in. Car trouble again?" he teased. Sophia smiled. "No. This time, I came to help." Over the next few weeks, she spent her free time at his shop, learning about cars, helping with customers, and getting her hands dirty for the first time in her life. People in town started noticing the once distant, proud Sophia laughing with mechanics, bringing coffee to workers, fixing flat tires, talking to folks she'd once ignored. But for Sophia, it wasn't about being noticed. It was about feeling human again. She realized that kindness wasn't about big donations or fancy charity galas. It was about showing up, lending a hand, being present. One evening, as the two of them locked up the garage, Sophia turned to Ethan and said softly, "You know, that day on the road changed me." He smiled, a little embarrassed. "I just fixed your car." She shook her head. "No. You fixed something much bigger than that." Ethan looked at her, eyes kind. "Guess we both learned something then." The two of them stood there, the sun setting over the small town, both grateful for that broken-down car that brought them back together, and for the simple, powerful act of kindness that changed everything. Kindness doesn't need to be grand or expensive. Sometimes, it's as simple as stopping to help someone on the side of the road, or listening when someone needs to talk. We never know how deeply one small act can touch another heart, or how it might even change our OWNSO. The next time you see someone in need, remember Ethan and Sophia's story. Because when we choose kindness, we don't just fix broken cars, we fix broken hearts. If this story touched you, share it with someone who believes in the power of kindness. And remember, you can always find more inspiring stories right here on